They won't clap for your small wins. They won't check on your sleepless nights. They won't understand your inner battles, and they won't believe in your dreams until you make them real. So listen carefully. Nobody truly cares. Unless you do, this is not a reason to give up. This is your reason to rise. Because if you're waiting for support, for praise, for someone to save you, you'll wait forever. Do it for you, not for validation. Not for applause. Do it because your soul craves growth, not attention. Master Shi Heng Yi teaches the truth no one tells you. This is your lesson in power, purpose, and self-discipline. Let the world sleep. You rise. You must understand this and understand it deeply. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your mentor. They may care for you, but they cannot walk your path. They cannot train your mind. They cannot carry your pain. The journey is yours, the suffering yours, and the victory, that too, is yours. So stop waiting for a perfect moment, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to be noticed, because the world only sees results. It doesn't see the 4 a.m. doubts. It doesn't see the tears behind your silence. It doesn't see how many times you almost gave up. That's why you must learn. Discipline is love for yourself in action. Not love from others, but the kind of love that shows up even when you're tired, broken, or doubting, even when no one is cheering, even when nobody cares. You don't go to the gym for others. You don't meditate to impress. You don't wake up early to prove a point. You do it because your spirit needs strength. You do it because your soul demands order. You do it because chaos is always waiting to return, and only discipline keeps it at bay. People will question your silence. They will criticize your grind. They will mock your focus until your results speak so loudly they can no longer ignore you. But by then, you won't care, because by then, you've already evolved beyond the need for validation. Do it for the peace you seek. Do it for the fire you feel inside. Do it because staying the same is a betrayal to your future self. When your legs shake, keep standing. When your mind screams, stay silent. When your heart breaks, breathe deeper, because real strength is invisible. It's not posted online. It's not talked about. It's lived alone in quiet rooms where nobody is watching. You train alone. You struggle alone, and one day you will rise unrecognizable to the world that once doubted you. So don't quit. Don't shrink. Don't wait. Do it for you. Nobody is coming to save you. This is the truth most people run from their entire lives, the painful yet liberating truth. You can have loving friends. You can have a supportive family. You can even have mentors, coaches, or people who want the best for you. But still nobody can walk your path for you. No one is going to wake you up at 5 a.m. every day and force you to train. No one will take control of your mind when it's filled with fear, doubt, and chaos. No one is going to fight your inner demons, build your habits, heal your wounds, or force you to break your limits. People can guide you. They can inspire you, but they can't do the work for you. And once you truly understand this, you stop waiting. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop waiting for someone to notice your pain and push you forward. Instead, you take ownership. You learn to carry your own weight. You learn to rise when no one claps, to move when nobody watches, to keep going when no one understands why. Because life doesn't reward the one who waits. It rewards the one who takes action consistently, intentionally, and without apology. Waiting makes you weak. Taking responsibility makes you powerful. And once you stop expecting anyone to come rescue you, that's the exact moment you begin to rescue yourself. Real growth happens in silence. The world glorifies loud achievements, gold medals, applause, and public victories. But what it doesn't show is where the real transformation takes place, in silence. In solitude, in the unseen hours. Nobody posts about the countless moments when they wanted to quit but didn't. No one records the early mornings when they fought their own laziness. No cameras are rolling when someone says no to distractions, to comfort, to temporary pleasure, all for a future they can't yet see. That's the part people forget. The grind isn't glamorous. There are no trophies for consistency. There are no likes for staying home to train your mind instead of partying. There's no applause for sacrificing comfort to grow. But those silent moments, that's where the shift happens, when you choose meditation over mindless scrolling, when you practice discipline when no one's watching, when you repeat your routine again and again, not for the world but for yourself. Real growth isn't loud. It's the quiet decision to keep showing up even when nobody cares, even when nobody believes, even when you feel completely invisible. Because silence is not weakness, it is power under control. It's the sacred space where your mind becomes sharp, your emotions settle, and your character is carved. The person who learns to master their silence becomes unstoppable, not because they are seen, but because they have learned to move without needing to be. Motivation fades, but discipline remains. Motivation is like a spark. It feels powerful, but it burns out fast. It comes and goes depending on your mood, your surroundings, or what video you just watched. And if your life depends on staying motivated, you will never be consistent, because there will be days when you feel like doing nothing. Days when your body is tired, your mind is scattered, and your heart isn't in it. On those days, motivation disappears, and that's exactly where discipline must take over. Discipline is not emotional. It doesn't care if you're excited. It doesn't ask you how you feel. It simply tells you, do what must be done. You may not feel like waking up early, but discipline says, get up. You may not feel like training, but discipline says, show up. You may not feel like facing your fears, but discipline says, move forward. Discipline is your inner warrior. It protects your mission when everything else around you tries to distract or destroy it. It turns chaos into order, laziness into power, and routine into transformation. Most people live only on motivation. That's why they start strong and fade quickly. They make promises when they're excited and break them the moment life gets hard. But those who rely on discipline, they don't stop. They don't wait to feel good. They just act again and again. When motivation dies, discipline keeps you alive. It carries you through the valleys when the mountain still feels far away. And while others burn out and give in, you keep climbing not because it's easy, but because you've trained yourself to move forward, regardless of how you feel. Stop seeking validation. One of the most dangerous habits you can develop is needing permission to live your life. Needing applause before you move, needing attention before you act, needing validation before you believe in yourself. When you constantly seek approval from others, you lose connection with your own path. You become a performer living to impress rather than to grow. You begin adjusting your dreams to fit into other people's expectations. You shrink your vision because you're afraid of being judged. You question your progress because it hasn't been liked or noticed. But here's the truth. Not everyone will understand your path. Not everyone will support you. And many will criticize you not because you're wrong, but because your growth reminds them of their own lack of discipline. That's why the strongest people move in silence. They don't need validation to begin. They don't need claps to keep going. They don't need others to believe in them because they've trained themselves to believe even in the silence. When you stop chasing validation, something powerful happens. You start making decisions based on what you truly want, not what others expect. You choose growth over attention. You choose discipline over performance. You choose to disappoint others if it means being true to yourself. Seeking validation is a form of weakness disguised as connection. It feeds your ego but starves your soul. It ties your value to opinions instead of truth. The moment you stop needing to be seen is the moment you begin to see yourself clearly. Pain is part of the process. Pain is not a punishment. It is a message. It is the voice of growth, speaking in a language most people try to avoid. But the truth is this: every transformation is born through discomfort. There is no evolution without resistance, no breakthrough without breaking. You will feel tired. You will feel uncertain. You will feel the weight of loneliness, the sting of failure, and the silence that comes when no one understands your journey. But that pain, it's shaping you, it's chiseling away your old habits. It's burning off your weakness, it's revealing to you what you truly value, because only in pain do your real priorities surface. Anyone can move forward when life feels easy, but who are you when everything feels heavy? When your goals seem far, when your energy is low, when nothing makes sense, that's the test. That's where real character is born, not in comfort, but in chaos, because pain forces you to choose, collapse or rise, break or build, complain or grow. It sharpens your focus. It makes you humble. It teaches you what no book, no teacher, and no speech ever can, that you are stronger than you believe, that you are more capable than you imagined, that you can survive what you once thought would destroy you, those early mornings when your body aches, those nights when your mind won't let you rest, those moments when no one claps for your efforts. Those are not signs to stop. They are signs that you're on the path where real transformation begins. Pain is part of the process. Most people see pain as something to escape. They run from it, numb it, avoid it. But pain is not your enemy, it is your instructor. It teaches with force what comfort will never whisper. Pain shows you who you are beneath the surface. It exposes your real strength, not the one you post, but the one you live. It removes the masks. When you are in pain, you can't fake discipline. You can't fake mindset. You can't pretend to be strong. You either are or you're not. The people you admire, the disciplined ones, the calm ones, the powerful ones, they did not arrive there through ease. They became who they are by walking through fire, by facing fears, breaking patterns, and choosing growth over comfort every single time. And that growth, it hurts. Not because you're weak, but because you are shedding what no longer belongs to your future self. Your old habits will fight to stay. Your laziness will whisper tempting lies. Your ego will scream to protect its illusions. And all of it will hurt because transformation is never gentle. It is a violent unraveling of the person you no longer need to be. Embrace it, feel it, and study it, because inside that pain are answers. What are you still attached to that you must release? What belief are you still holding that's holding you back? What truth are you still afraid to face? The longer you avoid pain, the longer you delay your greatness. The more you resist the lesson, the more you repeat the pattern. But the moment you stop fearing pain and instead walk into it with awareness, something powerful shifts. You stop breaking down and start breaking through. Your mind is your temple, train it. Your body may carry you, but it's your mind that leads the way. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every emotion you allow to grow, they all shape your direction, your discipline, and your destiny. Most people spend hours training their bodies, chasing wealth, or building external success, but they ignore the one thing that controls it all, the mind. If your mind is weak, no amount of talent will save you. If your mind is unfocused, no amount of ambition will lead to achievement. If your mind is chaotic, even peace will feel like war. That's why the first battlefield is not the world, it's within. Your fears live in your mind. Your doubts grow there. Your excuses breed there. But so does your courage, so does your vision, so does your power. And just like a warrior trains daily for combat, you must train daily for clarity. Meditation is not just sitting in silence, it's sharpening the blade of awareness. Silence is not absence, it's strength in stillness. Breathing deeply is not a luxury, it's how you return to the center when everything around you is falling apart. Your mind is your temple, and like any sacred place, it must be protected. Guard what you allow in, what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, who you surround yourself with. Every input becomes thought, every thought becomes belief, every belief becomes your reality. Train your mind not just to think, but to observe, to discipline, to focus. to slow down in a world that worships speed, to choose peace in a world that profits off chaos, to remain grounded when storms arise, because storms always will. When your mind is trained, the outside world loses its power over you. No insult can shake you. No setback can break you. No failure can define you. Your mind is your temple train. Everything begins in the mind. Before you take a step, before you speak a word, before you act, it all originates as a thought, and that thought, if repeated, becomes belief. That belief, if not examined, becomes identity. That identity, if left unchallenged, becomes your reality. That's why the mind must be trained like a warrior's sword, sharpened daily, cleaned regularly, and used with intention. Your mind is not just a container of thoughts. It's the lens through which you view the entire world. If it is dirty with doubt, you will see every opportunity as a threat. If it is fogged with fear, you will see every challenge as defeat. If it is wounded and unhealed, you will project pain into every relationship, every goal, every moment. This is why disciplining the body means nothing if the mind remains chaotic. It's easy to look strong, but be mentally broken. It's easy to appear successful, yet internally scattered. It's easy to hide behind routines while your mind quietly self-destructs with negativity, comparison, and inner conflict. You must reclaim your mind from the noise, because every single day the world tries to occupy it. News, distractions, social media, opinions, all of it fighting for your attention. And if you don't claim ownership of your mind, something else will. Training your mind means learning how to slow down in a fast world. It means recognizing your patterns, your triggers, your emotional reactions, not just blindly following them. It means sitting in silence, not to escape the world, but to master how you respond to it. You must treat your mind like sacred space. You wouldn't let strangers graffiti your temple walls, so why let random thoughts pollute your peace? Why let other people's opinions shape your self-worth? Why let old failures define what you're still capable of becoming? A trained mind doesn't panic under pressure. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't quit when things get hard. It becomes still, observant, and decisive. Do it for the future. You too many people live only for the moment, chasing quick highs, short-term comforts, and instant validation. But if you only live for now, you sacrifice what you could become. There's a version of you that exists in the future, stronger, wiser, calmer, and more powerful. That version isn't built through luck or wishful thinking. It's created by the decisions you make right now when nobody is watching. Every early morning you show up. That kind of mind cannot be gifted. It cannot be bought. It can only be built through practice, through self-awareness, and through complete dedication to inner mastery. Do it for the future. You too many people live only for the moment, chasing quick highs, short-term comforts, and instant validation. But if you only live for now, you sacrifice what you could become. There's a version of you that exists in the future, stronger, wiser, calmer, and more powerful. That version isn't built through luck or wishful thinking. It's created by the decisions you make right now when nobody is watching. Every early morning you show up. Every craving you resist, every excuse you silence, you are casting a vote for the future you want. Discipline isn't about suffering today for no reason. It's about planting seeds in the present that your future self will harvest. Because the version of you that can handle pressure, lead with clarity, move with confidence, that version is only possible if you're willing to build the foundation now. Don't betray your future for the sake of temporary relief. Don't abandon your long-term power for short-term pleasure. Remember, your future self is counting on you not to be perfect, but to be present in every choice you make today. People only see the results. The truth about growth is this: no one sees the work, they only see the outcome. They don't see the nights you stayed up learning. They don't see the early mornings when your legs shook from fatigue. They don't see the tears you wiped in silence. They only see the finished product, the glow up, the transformation, the success. But that's not your concern, because this journey was never about showing people what you're doing. It was always about becoming who you were meant to be. You don't train your mind to impress. You don't practice discipline to show off. You do it because the process is sacred, even if no one claps for it. The world rewards results, not effort. That's why you must learn to love the effort even when it feels invisible. Because while others chase applause, you chase mastery. While others wait to be seen, you continue to rise in silence. Let your results speak when the time comes. But until then, keep building quietly, ruthlessly, and without needing anyone to understand your path. Every excuse delays your power. Excuses are the most convincing lies you'll ever tell yourself. They feel logical. They feel justified. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right time. But every time you choose an excuse, you trade your potential for temporary comfort. Excuses are the language of the mind when it fears growth. They give you a way out, but at a cost. They delay your discipline. They slow your momentum. They disconnect you from your purpose. You were not born with excuses, you learned them. And anything learned can be unlearned. What if instead of saying, I can't, you asked, how can I? What if instead of giving up, you slowed down but kept going? What if instead of waiting for the right moment, you created it with your own hands? Every time you reject an excuse, you reclaim a little more of your power. You begin to lead your life rather than follow your impulses. Because power is not given, it is earned through the choices you make in moments of weakness. Inner strength is invisible but unshakable. You can't always see it. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't boast, but it's there, quiet, still, and unshakable. Real strength isn't shown by how much weight you can lift or how loud you speak. It's shown by how calmly you face adversity. Inner strength is invisible but unshakable. You can't always see it. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't boast, but it's there, quiet, still, and unshakable. Real strength isn't shown by how much weight you can lift or how loud you speak. It's shown by how calmly you face adversity, by how deeply you trust yourself when everything is uncertain, by how firmly you hold your values when others try to sway you. Inner strength means getting back up every single time you fall, even when no one's there to pick you up. Even when no one notices you stood back up. Even when your knees still shake from the last storm. It's the courage to walk alone, the patience to grow slowly, the silence that speaks louder than noise. People chase outer validation because their inner world is hollow, but those who build strength from within. They cannot be broken because their foundation isn't built on approval, applause, or image. It's built on truth, on resilience, on self-respect. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort feels good. That's why so many people settle into it. But what feels good in the short term is often the very thing that destroys your long-term potential. Comfort keeps you in routines that don't challenge you. It makes you avoid what's hard, delay what's necessary, and ignore what's calling your name. Progress doesn't come from staying where it's easy. It comes when you step into the unknown, when you do what scares you, when you take risks, fall, and rise again with wisdom in your wounds. You must understand this. Comfort will never produce greatness. You'll never find your strength in ease. You'll only discover your power when you're stretched, pressured, and forced to grow in unfamiliar spaces. So when the path gets uncomfortable, don't run. Lean in. That's the doorway to the next version of you. Success is a daily decision. People think success is an event, something that happens once, something you finally achieve. But success is not a destination, it's a decision. And it's a decision you must make every single day. Every day you wake up, you choose. Will you stay aligned with your mission or let the day control you? Will you feed your purpose or your distractions? Will you stay disciplined or fall back into old patterns? You don't become powerful in one giant leap. You become powerful in small, consistent acts of discipline: the food you eat, the words you speak, the thoughts you entertain, the people you engage with. They all count. They all shape who you are becoming. Greatness is never accidental. It is intentional. It is a lifestyle, not a moment. Energy is your responsibility. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's essential. Every conversation, every environment, every piece of content you consume either drains you or fuels you. And if you don't protect your energy, you'll spend your days feeling tired, distracted, and emotionally reactive. You must be intentional with your focus. You must choose your environment like you choose your nutrition. What you allow into your mind becomes the vibration you carry. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, drama, or noise, you will operate from survival, not from vision. Take ownership of how you feel. You are not a victim of your day. You are the architect of your mental space. Discipline isn't just about doing more, it's about eliminating what doesn't serve your energy and focus. Your routine builds your identity. The most powerful way to change who you are is not by changing your mind. It's by changing your habits. Because your routine becomes your reality. If you wake up and practice discipline, you become someone who honors discipline. If you delay your priorities every day, you become someone who betrays your own potential. Identity isn't a wish, it's a pattern. And patterns are created by what you choose to repeat. You don't need to fix your life in a day. You just need to show up differently, consistently. The way you walk, the way you think, the way you speak to yourself, it all reflects who you're training yourself to become. So look closely at your routine, because it's either building the person you dream of or killing that vision slowly. Isolation is sometimes necessary. There are seasons of life where you must disappear to rebuild, not because you hate people, but because you need space to reconnect with your mission. Growth requires silence. Elevation requires solitude. In isolation, there's no one clapping, no one distracting, no one interfering, just you, your thoughts, and the truth. And in that space, you begin to hear what matters. You begin to sort through the noise. You begin to cut what's fake and strengthen what's real. Not everyone will understand your silence. Not everyone will be comfortable with your distance, but that's okay. Because your purpose is not about pleasing the crowd, it's about aligning with your higher self. If you truly want to transform, be willing to walk alone for a while so that when you return unshakable. So now you know. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. No one is coming to push you. No one will feel your pain the way you do, and no one will walk your path for you. But this is not a curse. It's the greatest gift, because once you stop waiting for others, you finally awaken the fire within. The world doesn't owe you applause. The world doesn't owe you understanding, but you owe yourself discipline. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself your own evolution. There is no secret formula, no shortcut, no cheat code. There is only the path walked in silence, powered by intention, fueled by pain, protected by self-respect, and lit by the fire you refuse to let die. So do it, not for them, not for applause. Do it because you refuse to stay the same. Do it because you believe in the strength only you can awaken. Do it for you.